wanna be down with the king.
It's the Sports Kings. Sports Kings. Big Mike.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
And Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy, already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the king.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
Yep, back with hour number 2 of the Sports Kings podcast, as being heard on Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker. It's like speaker with an R in between the P and the E. We can also be reached if at any time you want to holler at your boys via social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Sports Kings Live. You can also email us, sportskingslive@gmail.com. And make sure, if you know anybody or if you yourself would like to become a sponsor of the show, by all means, send us an email to sportskingslive@gmail.com, and we'll definitely work something out for you. Not breaking the bank, just some things that we need to get taken care of as far as the financial aspect of the show to make it better for you guys, making it a better listening experience for you guys. So if that's something that you may be interested in, by all means,
we need a jet.
Holler. We need a what?
We need a jet. We need $65 million so we can get us a jet like this.
I mean, why you need that? Just go join whatever. What's no changing worlds? World changes. Go whatever. Creflo.
I'm saying Creflo need a jet. We need a jet too.
Well, sir, you can't go over there because already kicked some of your people out of there a couple years ago. So sorry. Sorry.
I'm not going over there. I got me a church home.
Oh yeah, same one. Same one or new one? Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Hey man, look man,
I don't know.
Look man, my pastor said in the pulpit 2 weeks ago, and he did it on mistake. He was just in the moment. He was like, I don't need no lace front. I ain't one of these lace front wearing preachers. And everybody was like, oh, he was like, see, y'all done let y'all man go there. That's not even what I was talking about.
Of course it was.
I was like,
of course it was. Then he lied in church. Then he lied in church.
We don't know any other preacher that wears a lace front. Yeah. Come on, man.
Slickster.
But it was funny, though.
That's why you don't find me up in nobody's church. Too much foolishness going. Well, I'm not even going.
I love my church, man. Go ahead.
Last hour, as most black folks do. Last hour, we were pretty NFL heavy, as the world of sports has been all day today with the recent retirement news of first or now second second year linebacker Chris Borland for the San Francisco 49ers. We also got to a couple of other smaller NFL topics. I figured this hour, we could start off with some of the ins and outs of what's going on in the NBA, since we have now around 12, 13 games, 11 games left in the season before the playoffs start. Yesterday, LeBron took his talents back to Miami as a member of the for the second time as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you're wondering what this fool is talking about, I was tweeting last night. I didn't even tweet it. I just texted him personally because I didn't really want to tweet this. That LeBron was point shaving so his boys can make it to the playoffs, so he could help Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh out. Well, not Chris Bosh because he's on the bench right now in a suit.
But I'm saying now, that could have been real last night, man. Do you know LeBron James did not have a rebound until the last 4 minutes of the game?
Well, how about we point to a more realistic explanation? They were on the second game of a back-to-back, and it's something that we've been discussing about, what's going on in the NBA right now, like coaches resting players, because now in the second half of the season, there are so many of these back-to-backs going on, and teams are not really faring well in the second, unless you're the Atlanta Hawks, who can't lose in the second game of back-to-backs. But we'll get to that here in a second. The second game of back-to-back, legs not really there with you. Kevin Love sat out for rest reasons. He got like a little back situation that's going on with him. So, for more practical reasons, I'd rather put it on that than put it on a professional athlete feeling like he has to do something that, because at the end of the day, they still got other games to play. So, if they don't make the playoffs, it's on them anyway. I was just BSing, but it made its way to the airwaves. So,
But LeBron just didn't. I mean, he just didn't look like himself last night, man. I mean,
well, I wasn't wearing the headband. You couldn't recognize him. He had a headband on.
I mean, first of all, definitely that.
Well,
definitely that. But you know what trips me out?
I'm about to get this dude started on this man's hair.
Now, LeBron is clearly going bald, right? And I can talk about it because I came on home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had that moment with myself a couple years ago. I looked at the mirror and was like, you know what? It just don't make no sense to keep going to the barbershop, you know, every couple of days trying to keep this thing knocked down, right? He's clearly bald, going bald. Why does this dude want to have the Michael Irvin parts on the side now? Like, what is that supposed to be like a distraction? That's why he's not wearing the headband.
Well, dude, he's been had those. He's been having those. Him and Dwayne Wade getting the parts on their head. They've been doing that. Even with the headband.
When they were doing eyebrows and all that other stuff. But I'm talking about now.
I don't know about
it's
that.
like, I saw he had him on the side. Sean Merriam got him on the back, right on the corner of his head. I'm like, y'all doing too much.
Yeah, them dudes is trendy like that, man. Them young cats, they trendy like that, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, LeBron need to come on home and
hey,
you know,
slowly but surely, man. He's taking baby steps, man. You don't need to rush him, man.
But he did cut it down a little lower though. Yesterday I noticed it was cut a little lower. So
I saw this article the other day talking about LeBron embracing his awkward uncoolness or something like that.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I just kind of skipped by it because I pretty much knew what it was talking about, the whole headband situation and the hair. And he's an awkward dude. Even when they won the championship and he was on the stage. If anybody noticed, like, he didn't know really when to shake Bill Russell's hand, and he was like standing there trying to pose, but it was still like that kind of lame looking type deal. Like, you're the best. Like, he's one of those people, like, you just can't have everything, B. Like, you're the best basketball player in the world. Like, speaking of that, too, what's going to happen here in a second, we're going to have to stop saying that. Because this kid, Anthony Davis, is like turning 22 in a couple days, and he's a monster.
Hey, man.
And like, it's gonna come to the point where we can't just definitively just keep calling LeBron the best basketball player in the world while this kid is in New Orleans putting up damn near quadruple doubles. You know, at some point the narrative is gonna have. I don't think it has to change right now. I think LeBron is still clearly the best basketball player in the world, but you know, it's kind of getting to that point where you're gonna have to like ease on back on the reins a little bit, just not letting that flow from your mouth so quickly.
But you know what? You know what? What's so awesome is that, like, a couple of these guys that are in the running for NBA MVP, like, they could be in that argument as well. Like you could say that about a couple of those guys. I mean, you talk about Anthony Davis, you know, filling up the stat sheet. Then you got, you know, your boy, and I dare not call him the greatest player in the world or the best player in the world right now, but Russell Westbrook, I mean, like, dude, we're seeing a lot of good basketball right now.
Well, see, the Anthony Davis thing boils down to his age. Like, all these dudes are older than him. Like, Russell's like 26.
You just said,
like, this dude is about to be 22.
Okay, I know that.
And he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, like Russ, he's cool, and Harden, these dudes are like 26 and, you know, whatever, and Steph is like, you know, 25 or whatever. This dude just turned 22. Just turned, or is about to turn one of these days coming up here. So he's still 21 years old, and he's doing this against grown-ups, adults. Yeah, in a minute we're just going to have to stop saying that so quickly. Like, it's cool for probably the rest of this season, but this dude is a dude who wants to be better. Like, he's working on his body all the time, working on his game, working on his handles, his post-up game.
So you're saying we're going to have to pass the torch? And Anthony Davis, like, in another year, is going to be the best basketball player in the world?
It's looking like that. It's looking that way.
In the world.
It's looking that way.
In the world.
Hey. I mean, it's not a stretch.
In the world.
If you're the best player in the NBA, you're by default the best player in the world. It's just what it is, because the NBA has the best talent in the world. So if you're the best among those, you're the best player in the world. That's what it is. That's why LeBron's the best player in the world.
You remember that? You remember what I was just saying? You remember that Bob Rasmus was saying that? He was talking about somebody.
About Joe Johnson. She was talking about Joe Johnson.
Yes, in the world.
Yeah, I forgot
He's one of
about
the best
that.
players in the world,
He's right. He's right. If you're in the NBA, you're one of the best players in the world. That's just what it is, because the NBA has the best talent in the world.
He was defending that $90 million deal, but it's one of the best in the world right now.
Hell, I've defended it. I've defended that deal plenty of times. Like, only people that were surprised were the people here. Like, everybody in the world knew when all the dust settled, Joe Johnson was going to be the highest paid player out of that summer. Everyone knew it. It was going to happen. And then when it happened, people were like, what the hell? What, do you not watch TV or read?
but it was like the summer of LeBron, but Joe won.
Everyone knew it was going to happen. Everyone. That was my whole argument the whole time. Like, every time I heard it come out of your mouth or anybody else complaining about that contract, I was like, did someone steal everyone in Atlanta's TV and, like, the computers and everything that they couldn't read or see anything? Like, everybody knew that was going to happen. In the world, everybody knew, except the people here. Everybody was so shocked. Like, what the hell? They paid Joe Johnson? Yes, everyone knew it was going to happen.
It was because they gave Joe the opportunity to be able to talk to other teams, and nobody wanted to give Joe that big bread. Remember, Joe had talked to Miami. Joe had talked to New York, Chicago. He had talked to all of the teams that, that summer that everybody thought was going to make a big splash. I mean, I think Carlos Boozer ended up being Chicago's big splash that year. Amari, was it Amari?
Amari went to New York. Yeah, he went to New York.
And then, the big three, Bosh, Wade, and LeBron down in Miami. And then, of course, Joe Johnson. Oh, Darren Williams got that big deal. And Joe Johnson. So, it was just, look, I just couldn't believe that happened. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, it was shocking. It was shocking for a guy because this was the guy that told everybody, I don't want to be the number one. I don't want to be the number one dude. But then you give him number one dude money, and when he doesn't give you number one dude, because that's what happens. When you give somebody number one dude money, and that dude is not, producing like that dude should, based on what he's getting. I mean, everybody,
Nah,
and Joe underperformed for that deal, man.
I still don't buy that. And everyone who wants to explain it to me that way, I still don't buy that. Like, he didn't do what he was supposed to do for that deal. It has nothing to do with that. You're worth what you negotiate for. You get paid. You get paid what you negotiate for.
Yeah.
Like, for anybody who feels like your touchdown number should match your salary, go look at Russell Wilson. If that's the case, Russell Wilson should throw 10 touchdowns a year. Then, based on his salary, you shouldn't expect crap from him. But that's not the case. He starts for a professional team, so you expect him to take that same team with that same salary to the Super Bowl every year. Like, one has no correlation on the other. But for some reason down here, it's like that tie-in. Like, if you get paid this much, you're supposed to do this much. Matt Ryan get paid like a Super Bowl quarterback, so he's supposed to take us to the Super Bowl. It doesn't work that way.
Because nobody else, they dangled that money in everybody else's face, and nobody would take it. Bosh wouldn't take it. LeBron wouldn't take it. Like, nobody would take that money, and it was just like, I mean, it almost seemed like it was no negotiation. They were like, here you go, Joe. Take this 95. And Joe was like, 95? Really?
I can't believe I'm having this 2-year-old conversation. I feel like someone put me in the hot tub time machine right now. That's what I feel like is happening. I can't believe this dude is in New Jersey now, where apparently no one's complaining about the money. And I told everybody that was going to happen. He was going to go somewhere where people don't care about these things. And no one talks about Joe Johnson's contract. Miraculously. How does that work? Yeah. Like I said, learn how to be a true fan. Learn how to be a fan. Who?
But it's just
who?
That, I mean, they not talking about the money so much at this point because
no
they don't owe him that much money. They don't owe him that much money now.
What do you mean? Joe Johnson was the highest paid player in the league last year. What are you talking about?
I'm saying, but I'm talking about like now.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
Anyway, man, we can get out, Jim. I'm just saying, the people of Brooklyn ain't happy. That's the damn show.
Hold on, let me run out here.
They ain't happy.
Let me go out here and crank up the DeLorean. I got to go back to 2015. You can go ahead
and
juice up the time capacitor, jump in the DeLorean.
They thought they were going to have them a championship team on there. Kel Prokhorov did. I'm talking about. He just whipped his thing out on the commissioner's table and just said, I'm going to put me a championship team together. Oh, yeah, right.
All right. Speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, while we're there, so apparently 2 Chainz is supposed to be performing this month at the old Phillips Arena down there, doing some
at the Highlight Fest
pregame. You can keep calling that if you want to. Ain't nothing going on down there but fundamentals, cuz. Great basketball and fun. I was watching that game last night. And I'm just like, man, this looks great. Like every time.
So what do they call it? The Fun Factory?
Every time, no, like, just call it. The name is on the front of it.
I know.
It's like the Staples Center. Staples is on the front of it. Just call it that. and go in there and watch some good basketball. Man, every time those Kings play hard. Those Sacramento Kings, they playing hard for freaking George Karl, man. But every time they did, man, Atlanta had an answer for it. Every time they got it within 2 or got it within 3, somebody, big Bazemore come down and hit a tray. Your boy DeMarais come down and hit a tray. It was some beautiful basketball going on last